Rising family. Welcome to another edition of your Reminder to Self. I am Pharaoh Brown, aka Ahmad Brown, aka Mr. We Meditate, aka so glad that you're here with us for another wonderful day. How y'all doing? Well, terrific. So, dealing with today's reminder, today's message, just gotta tell you, you gotta do what your heart says, family. Gotta do what your heart says. Now, come on, let's keep it 100. Show of hands. How many of us are truly living the life that is fully aligned with what our heart and mind wants us to do? Hey, I guess I'm the only one, huh? No, to be serious, family. Doing what your heart truly desires is one of the most spiritual things that you could ever do out of any of the spiritual religious experiences that you may ever have throughout your whole entire life. We live in a time where we are extremely stimulated and extremely directed along a rail-like course to where we have expectations to fulfill, duties that must be met, deadlines that must be achieved, and we simply become a part of the conveyor belt that has become reality. And unfortunately, family, when many of us get stuck into the conveyor belt of reality, where we're simply just trying to make sure we have enough to get by, we remove ourselves from the spiritual intent that we originally set ourselves upon. There are multiple choices, infinite choices actually, that could happen in life that will ultimately affect how we achieve, what we achieve, how we incarnate, how we reincarnate, what direction our life may go in. And always the choice is ours. We are ultimately in complete control of every single thing that happens. There are no outside excuses, outside influences, outside anything other than what we choose to allow ourselves to think is more powerful than us. And that is a part of the situation of walking outside of your heart's sight, walking outside of your heart's power. Because of the times that we live in, many of us, again, are only prompted by the things around us. And we only know what to achieve based on what we've seen someone else do. And most likely, we have very little understanding of who we actually are, of what we actually are, and what we actually want to become. And because of that, many of us feel unfulfilled every single day. You know it. Keep it real. You ain't happy. It's okay. And in the process of getting you, I'm simply just giving you this subtle, basic reminder that is the most powerful thing that you could ever do. And that is to get back in line with your heart. Your heart, it's a beating drum. Your heart, it's an electrical pulse. Your heart, it is a gateway into the other side, the original dimension, the everlasting, the place where ultimate power ultimately resides. And that same power ultimately resides within you. And that power is meant to be expressed. It is meant to be moved. It is meant to be transformed through the use of your hands and your activities, through the use of your feet and in the directions you choose to go in. And whatever you ultimately choose to do will create a change, will create a transformation. However, what are you transforming into? Are you transforming into something that is better for you, that is helping to increase mobility and power and strength and access to your life? Or are you transforming into something that is, unfortunately, bringing you down, making the logistical movements of your life more complex, where the relationships you have with people are filled with distress, are filled with unfulfilling experiences? Again, take a sober assessment of what is happening with you and what's going on with your life. And if you know for sure that the majority of the things that you have written out, examined, explored are in the category of non-fulfilling, that is a 100% reminder that you, sir, you, ma'am, have walked away from your absolute truest power, which is the guidance of your heart. The heart is more than just, like I say, that beating drum. The heart is the fulfillment of you. The reason why your heart beats at the rate that it does, at the frequency that it does, is uniquely and specifically designed for your pattern, for however you have been woven together, again, however you have chosen to manifest yourself back into this realm. And as it stands, your highest achievement, your highest power, your highest expression, your highest completion, your highest transformation will only take place if you live out what is going on inside of the core of your heart. And if we really be honest, we know that we can feel it. We know that we can see it. We know that we have the power to own it and to direct it. However, many of us have fallen into a state of powerlessness. Think about it. Many of us are worried about what we're going to eat, how we're going to keep the lights on, how we're going to keep the cable running, how we're going to feed the children, how we're going to put gas in the car, and how we're going to repeat that process again next week. And ultimately, many of us are stuck doing that and just maintaining the things around us as opposed to maintaining the heart sight within. And so this is again another subtle, lovely reminder that your heart sight, your heart feeling, that is what is the true essence of your whole spiritual identity. You know, you could go to church, you could do rituals, you could do worship, you could do magic. Whatever you choose to do, if you are not doing it in a full alignment with your heart, you're going to do nothing more than create an extra layer of stress, an extra layer of difficulty, an extra layer of delay in you creating a manifestation. Because again, the heart and its gateway to the other side, again, that gateway to the other side is literally almost like a rope that is connected to the invisible realm directly into the top of your brain, connecting all the way down to the centerpiece of your heart. And within that communicating device, it will send you feelings of what it sees. The sight that your heart has is akin to a sight that it is on top of a building, a bird's eye view. And it can see far down the road, many, many, many miles beyond where you can see right on the ground. And so with this bird's eye view, the heart will prompt you and tell you and pull you in directions of things that you may not be able to see initially. And because you cannot see it with your outer eyes, simply means that you are having difficult trusting and difficult seeing what your inner eye, your heart, can actually see further down the journey. And so when we talk about this heart sight, we are actually talking about the full use of the word called faith. Now again, when religiously applied, we talk about faith in regards to pleasing a deity and our faith to believe in the deity when the deity is somewhat unseen, and that being tied into the whole religious matrix and kind of codified into that box. However, when we talk about it in the universal sense as it applies to you, the individual, you have to have enough faith in your own self to trust your own heart's ability to see the future for you, to be able to navigate you to what the heart can tell will bring your truest and fullest fulfillment, to be courageous enough to go down on the journey of unknowing, the journey of confusion, the journey of expectation, the journey of simply fully activating all of your potential, all of your senses, and putting all of it on the line because you trust what your heart can see. And you can practice this daily. You can simply communicate with your own self. Look within your own self. Talk to your own self and ask the question of your heart. Heart, what is it I shall do today? Heart, how can I make sure I am getting 100% out of myself today? Heart, I already know that you know the way and I am simply willing to follow. Give me the feeling tones so I can be fully aware of where I need to be. A simple message and meditation to yourself while directing your energy to that center point of your actual body will spin that heart chakra. We'll get that bad boy cooking. We'll get it churning. And once it starts to churn, it will begin to send you even more vivid feeling tones as it goes out and experiences what you see. when you look in a particular direction and you see something that may be regular or mundane, but the heart knows from its bird's eye view that you need that particular thing to help complete your journey later on, the heart will send you that feeling tone of attraction so that you will hopefully respond and go over and begin to interact with whatever that is, or whomever that is, or to go in whatever direction that the heart is telling you to go. To be able to submit yourself to the journey where everything may not make sense, but where you know everything is going to be all right. So just again, remind yourself and ground yourself in the intention of your heart and live from the sight of your bird's eye view of your truest, most authentic, most expressive intention, where you are fully connected from the continuum through the key of communication, through the key of fulfillment, through the gateway of your true ultimate self, your full-on spirit as it is within the center of your being. So center yourself in the heart and begin to simply feel everything that you want, and only go for the things that give you that true enlivening, fulfilling, uplifting feeling of completeness, feeling of composure, feeling of I got this, I did it. Yeah, turn up. That's what you should go for. And once you align yourself in that energy and align yourself with the daily willingness to stay in that place, you will begin to see an ultimate change, and you will be way more fulfilled with your daily life and how you move throughout the world. And that is what a true spiritual experience is about. So trust your heart, live from your heart, and see what your heart sees. This is your reminder to self, Pharaoh Brown. Peace, family.